Hey viewers, we're about to get into a touchy subject. A brain tumor is a growth of abnormal cells in your brain. Several types of brain tumors exist. Some are non-cancerous and some are. The symptoms of a brain tumor depend on its size, location, and rate of growth, but there are some general signs you need to be aware of. In today's video, we'll talk about common symptoms of brain tumors that can help you get the right diagnosis and treatment. Is a headache one of them? What about a seizure? We will focus on all this and more. Number 1. Fatigue. The development, growth, and progression of a tumor can really take a lot out of you. As a result, you get tired really quickly. Fatigue is the persistent feeling of being tired, weak, slow, or heavy. Studies show that 3 in every 5 people with brain tumors feel exhausted on the regular. Around 1 in every 4 said they were severely troubled by fatigue. But fatigue doesn't just affect people with brain tumors. It can affect people with all kinds of tumors. The level of fatigue is different for everybody. You may not have the same issues as somebody else with a similar diagnosis and treatment plan. For some, fatigue can be mild, but several others might describe it as one of the most intense, disruptive side effects you can have. While cancer-related fatigue is widely talked about, people living with low-grade and non-cancerous brain tumors usually have their fatigue ignored. Fatigue can vary in intensity. It happens at completely different times of the day and from one day to another. It can also disrupt your sleeping patterns. This causes your stress to build to a point where you want to snap. How do you deal with fatigue? Sound off in the comment section and start a conversation with our Bestie community. Number 2. Personality changes and mood swings. If you're wondering whether brain tumors can cause personality changes and mood swings, the answer is yes. Much like fatigue, the severity is different for everybody. It's quite common for people with brain tumors to experience increased confusion, anxiety, aggression, or irritability. More often than not, patients find it difficult relating to other people and their emotions. At times, their behavior can be considered inappropriate. It's like they have no filter or sense of restraint. A tumor presses on your brain. This may cause swelling. You'll soon notice personality changes or mood alteration. This symptom is commonly associated with brain tumors located in the frontal or temporal lobe. Number 3. Headaches. Your skull is a sphere with a specific type of tissue. If the tumor brings on an increase in the quantity of tissue, it raises the pressure inside the sphere. This is something the skull can't expand to accommodate. This is why people with brain tumors get headaches. Approximately 48% of patients with brain tumors experience headaches at the time of their diagnosis. They usually come with other neurological problems such as seizures or a speech problem. This leads to the diagnosis of the tumor. Each patient experiences pain, but headaches related to brain tumors almost seem like they're never ending. They get worse at midnight and early morning. They're usually explained as dull pressure-type headaches, but some patients do complain about a sharp or stabbing pain. Terrifying, right? Tumor headaches are usually associated with a certain location. It'll only get worse with coughing, sneezing, or straining. A tumor headache can be fought with over-the-counter medications, but this really only works during the initial stage. After a while, the medications just won't cut it. Looking for answers on all the latest health and wellness news? Hit that subscribe button and join our millions of followers. Stay up to date on all our great Bestie content. Number 4. Weakness and numbness. A brain tumor will cause you to feel weak. It will almost be as if you can't do anything. You just don't have the energy. The cerebrum controls the movement or sensation of our body parts. Tumors in the cerebrum section of the brain will cause you to feel weak and numb. Brain tumors can cause numbness and tingling in the face, arms, hands, legs, and feet. We all know that the brain plays a key role in our ability to feel things throughout the body. Sensory receptors send signals through the neural structure into the brain, which then processes the signals. A brain tumor will block this pathway, leading to a weakened state. Weakness and numbness from tumors tend to affect only one side of the body. The location of this symptom depends on the position of the tumor in your brain. Whichever area it's in, it's uncomfortable and scary. Before we move ahead, are you trying to improve your overall health? Well, you need to make sure you're digesting your food the right way. Watch and learn about 14 clear signs you have an unhealthy gut. Now back to the signs of brain tumors. Number 5. Seizures. Seizures are usually considered the primary clinical sign of a brain tumor and count as an important prognostic factor. About 40 to 60% of people with brain tumors experience seizures. 2 out of every 3 brain tumor patients experience at least one. The symptoms and severity will vary from person to person, but you will not have the same issues as somebody with a similar diagnosis and treatment plan. A seizure happens when there's a burst of abnormal electricity activity in the brain. This disrupts the routine your brain works by and mixes up all the messages. From here, different symptoms will occur. You may only have seizures for a brief amount of time. They can happen before treatment or after surgery. If they do happen after surgery, it's because of the swelling in the brain. People with slow-growing or low-grade tumors are the most likely to suffer from seizures. Also, if your tumor is in one of the lobes of the cerebrum, seizures will serve as one of the signs. Number 6. Nausea and vomiting. Are you getting woozy? Are you throwing up a lot? You may be suffering from a brain tumor. As a tumor grows larger, it takes up extra space in the skull. This increases the pressure. This multiplied pressure can result in feelings of nausea and vomiting. Brain tumors also have an effect on hormone levels. This makes you feel nauseated. Nausea and vomiting can also occur when the tumor develops in a specific location of the brain. If the nausea continues for over a week, it's a red flag. Nausea due to a brain tumor is usually worse in the morning. It can also be bad when you're laying down. If the sudden change in position is making you feel nauseated, it can be a sign of a brain tumor. Remember to keep a check on other signs. It's rare for a brain tumor to only cause nausea and vomiting. Number 7. Depression. Depression gets in the way of every aspect of our lives. It can be observed before, during, or after the diagnosis of a brain tumor. Research shows that more than 1 in every 4 patients with brain tumors suffers from a serious depressive disorder. This includes a feeling of hopelessness, like the world is falling apart. You also lose interest in things you once loved. Apart from this, depression can bring on insomnia. In extreme cases, there are even suicidal thoughts. Depression is usually associated with frontal lobe tumors. While all of these symptoms are scary, they don't always mean you have a brain tumor. It could be something else. This is why you need to speak to a doctor and get a proper analysis. There are several other ways to determine if you have a brain tumor or not. Here's what you need to know. Check out 10 warning signs you have a brain tumor. You can also try 6 foods that help keep your mind young and improve brain health. Go ahead, click one, or better yet, watch both and learn how to identify this illness at the right time. Have you or anyone you know experienced these symptoms? Let us know in the comments below.